everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Not just the ones that are raising kids that are their biological. It's like there's many fathers out there raising other kids. Happy Father's Day to every father out there. Just getting started here. I got my morning cup of coffee right here. My Copico Blanca. This is my favorite 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. When I can't get my brewed coffee here in the Philippines, I go with my Copico Blanca. I had prepared some notes today. Questions that I normally get like offline that I think it's worth discussing. So I'm gonna start today. I often get this question from people, and they always ask me, how much money do I need to live comfortable in the Philippines? And the most common question that I get is, can I live on Social Security alone? Hey Jamal, what's up? What's up, Jamal? Long time no see, man. I'm glad you're catching the live stream here, my brother. Oh, everything's good. Everything's good, brother. We're Dazzle and we've been here in Boracay Island now since May 30. I think this is our 18th day here in Boracay Island. Yeah. We're gonna stay here a month. We're gonna be here until June 30. Just enjoying just Dazzle and and Chloe. Lyanna is staying with mom at the house. Lyanna actually starts first day of school today. I'm kind of like, gonna miss the first day of school with Lyanna. I'm usually the one that take her to school, but she's excited. We video chat with her every night. She's got her new school uniform. She's really excited. She's now in high school, first year of high school. So it's a big deal for Lyanna today. She was even telling Dazzle and I last night, first day of school here in the Philippines, like everywhere else, I think, is introduction. And Lyanna's always like, her confidence has built up. She's been a class president now. Last year she was class president. So she was telling me, Kuya, when the teacher asked for us to introduce ourselves, I'm gonna volunteer. So she was even excited. She said she's already thinking what she's gonna say when she introduces herself to the class. So I'm really happy because like when we first, Lyanna first moved in with Dazzle and I, she didn't have the confidence. She actually told me one time, she thought she wasn't that smart, because nobody ever really tutored Lyanna with school. She was pretty much just left on her own to like study. And then during the pandemic didn't help. It was like she lost like 2 years of education, basically, like most kids here in the Philippines, because all they did was like gave homework to the kids for 2 years and they stayed home, so they weren't learning anything. So a lot of catching up as far as school for Lyanna. And the 2 years I've been working with her, leaps and bounds. She's like a sponge. She learns so fast, learns so many things. Hola, amigo. All right, they go Galarga. Hello. Next time, tell me, I would meet y'all. Lyanna gonna kill it. Oh, I know, man. Lyanna's like, she's so confident now. It's like, I'm sure, she's gonna do well on everything she does. And that's the main thing that I focus on is I want her to be like a confident young lady. And she's smart. It's like anything I tutor her in, math, science, anything that we study together, she catches it really fast. So I have no worries about Lyanna. She's gonna do really well in high school. What did you eat for Darshan Mystery? So far, I'm just snacking. I haven't eaten breakfast. It's like 5:11 a.m. here. I got this butter coconut. It's like biscuits. It has, it's pretty good. It's like sweet. It's a sweet biscuit. And that's what I've been snacking here with my morning cup of coffee. My morning cup of coffee here. Tanya G. Good morning. Didn't Lyanna do Zoom classes during the pandemic? During the pandemic here in the Philippines, Tanya, there was no such thing as Zoom. Um, Unlike in the US, I know they had Zoom, classroom Zoom. Here in the Philippines, during the pandemic, all this Department of Education here in the Philippines, DepEd, all they were doing was like they had like they called them modules. It's basically like a little booklet for each subject, and they would give it to the parents. The parents were supposed to go to the school, pick it up. There was a deadline to turn it in, and then it got turned in, and that was it. It was up to the parent to teach the kids. And I didn't have Lyanna back then. Lyanna was living in Katiklan, and most of the modules were being done by the parents. Unfortunately, they didn't realize that they were hurting the kids by helping the kids. They're thinking, well, it's a requirement. It's a requirement. I gotta get the modules in or I'll be in trouble. That's how the parents looked at it. So the parents were actually doing the modules for the kids. So how's that gonna help the kids? That's not gonna help the kid that much. So, there was basically for the whole pandemic, kids here in the Philippines got really behind on education. Now, I'm not gonna say all kids got behind on, education, because I'm sure there were parents out there that realized it, that they were like homeschooling their kids. I know there's people here in the Philippines now, many people. I got friends here that are homeschooling their kids because they realize the public school and sometimes even the private school here is really not up to par, to their standards, to the standard of education they want to give their kid. Like for me, even with Lyanna, when she gets homework from her school, her school work, it's not enough. Lyanna goes to Numancia Integrated School, and I feel like that it's not enough education. They're just getting through kids. They're just like passing through to grades. Lyanna gets more of her education from me. I make lessons for Lyanna. I tutor her in English. I focus on things that I think she's gonna need someday. I teach her about budgeting. I teach her about, we watch National Geographic. We do a History Channel. I'm introducing her to medical terminology because I was medical administration for 27 years, and Lyanna wants to become a nurse. So I'm explaining to Lyanna what a laboratory does, what radiology does, what pharmacy does, what medications do. It's like, because I'm preparing her. It's like she wants to become a nurse, and I'm gonna make her a good nurse. I have enough medical background, been around doctors and nurses most of my life, so I know I can guide her to get that goal of becoming a nurse someday. But no Zoom, man. No Zoom here in the Philippines during that time. People here, like especially in the province, Tanya, a lot of people here don't have internet. Wi-Fi internet. A lot of people here in the province don't have that. Or if they do have internet, it's like not good internet, slow internet, not the fiber optic from Calibo Cable. They might use data on their phone, and even now, data on your phone, it's terrible here. It's like hit or miss, depending where you are on the island. Even here in Boracay Island, I could be on one side of the island, good connection. I'm like I can do a live stream, or I can even do um, video call with people, and I'll just walk a couple of feet and like whoop, lose the connection. It's like uh, that's the one thing here, in the province and even here in Boracay Island. It's like the internet's connections and infrastructure still needs improvement. Needs improvement. Darshan Mystery, what is your favorite food? That's a lot. I have a lot of favorite food. Of course, Filipino food. I enjoy Filipino food. I'm Filipino American, so there's food, but I also love American food. There's I love a good burger. It's like a lot. I mean, I'm a foodie. I love food. If you see my Facebook, I share a lot of photos on my Facebook, Dazzle and I eating. It's like since we've been here in Boracay Island, we've eaten like Japanese food, Greek food, Latin food, Mexican food, ramen, Japanese. I mean, we just eat a lot of variety. Italian food, pizza. I remember those biscuits. Yeah, they're really good. I like these biscuits. I even dunk on my coffee. I dunk everything pretty much on my coffee. I like doing it. I like doing that. JP, good morning. Good morning, JP. It would have been a perfect opportunity to design a curriculum that would have advanced her among her peers. I'm sure the military taught you. Yes, yes. I was actually, throughout our career, I was a trainer in the military. My last 4 years in the military, I worked in medical readiness, and I deployed people. I was the guy assigning deployment orders, checking bags, and I taught a lot of class, force protection. I had to teach a class on force protection. So, military, we're trained, all our careers to teach. And that's why, when I realized, it's like Lyanna was behind, it's like I realized, man, she's behind in school, it's like behind on her English, I knew I had to step up, it's like Dazzle and I, we have a pretty good life, and it was just me and her because we can always travel. We don't, our dogs were the only ones really that we can always find people to watch our dogs, and easier to watch a dog than a person. But I knew I had to step up for Lyanna. I knew I would do her a disservice. I would have felt bad if she had grown up and she's not well educated, and if she's not confident, like she is now. It's like for me, I'm just happy when I see Lyanna, because like when her graduation, she had with honors. She graduated elementary school with honors. Even her, she was telling me she can't believe, that she never thought, she was smart. She was always telling me. She actually told me, I thought, Kuya, I was dumb. And I told her, no, it's just that nobody spent the time with you to like teach you, to like guide you to like what you're supposed to learn. But now, it's like, I know she's gonna kill high school. I know she's gonna kill high school. Said hi, Azar Nizar. Hello, hello. Yoon, hi. All right, thank you, thank you. Hello, hello. JP, I found a sporting goods store in Iloilo that has rod and reel fishing supplies. It's near Robinson's. Oh, nice, nice. Man, that's great, JP. That I know where that is. Dazzle and I stayed at that Robinson's downtown, that near the downtown area. Like there was a hotel there. I'm trying to remember, but it was a nice hotel inside the mall. The hotel was on the first floor. Entrance of the hotel was on the first floor, but it had several floors, and it was attached to the Robinson Mall. That's where Dazzle got her passport, her Philippine passport. That's why I know. That's why I know about the mall. We're headed to Iloilo. When we get back to Numancia in July, like I think the 7th to the 10th of July. My friends Steve and Nova, they're on vacation here in the Philippines. I think they're on vacation now 3 months. They have a house in New Washington, Aklan. They wanted to, for Dazzle Night, to take them to Iloilo City because they've been to Iloilo City, but they don't know about getting around Iloilo City. And then my friend Steve, he wanted to check the medical care at Iloilo City. So I'm going to show him around. I'll drive, they'll ride with us. And then Steve offered like to pay for our hotel. So it's going to be a good trip. I think maybe 3-4 nights in Iloilo City. I love going to Iloilo City. Dazzle and I enjoy going to Iloilo City. So if I get a chance to be around Robinson, I will check that out, JP. Tanya, homeschooled children were very rare during, yes, I know. During our time, homeschool kids were rare here in the Philippines. I've never heard of it. I've heard of it in the US, of course, when we were in the US, but now it's like there's a program that Charlotte Mason is like a homeschooling program. I'm sure the name Charlotte Mason. It's run online like an international school, and many people here in the Philippines take advantage of it. And I see the benefit. You know, some people argue regarding homeschooling. They're saying that you're not exposing your kids to other kids, but I'm watching my friends that do it here in Aklan, and their kids like are good at music. They play instruments. They do taekwondo. They play with other kids. They have outings to like beach. They have so that's, to me, that's not a valid reason. I mean, the kids are more behaved when I look at them, because I guess when you send your kids to public school here or even private school, they're exposed to other, not all kids are good. There's kids out there that are not good. So they're exposed to that. But with that homeschooling, you can kind of like limit your kids' exposure here to like not good kids. Yes, the entire generation, and even here in the Philippines, it's a new generation of kids being homeschooled. What I've seen a lot is like the kids that are being homeschooled are actually kids of teachers themselves. So the teachers themselves don't think the public school here or private school can educate their kids, so they're educating their kids at home, or have experience teaching, is what I'm seeing here in the Philippines anyway. JP, having two college-educated people in the house will help Lyanna. Yes, I think so. And I'm always been big on education, JP. The military, when I was in the military, they pushed education for us. Even during my military service, I always took college courses. I got my associate's degree from the Air Force. Always took classes in the military, and then we have a lot of experience training, like HD was saying. It's like the military, they build confidence in us. It's like we were always like spur of the moment. Ginno, you need to teach this class, or you need to get this, teach these guys on CPR or something. I'm like, okay, and you got to jump on it. So we're always used to that. We're always used to being put in the line of fire, You got to like step up all the time in the military. It's called Anglers Haven. Ooh, nice name, Anglers Haven. All right, I'll have to check it out. I'll have to take a picture of this, because for some reason I'm not able to like read these. I'm not able to read this on my after the live stream. I'm not able to read this thing, so I'm gonna take a picture of it. That way I got the name. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about again, about the question whether you can live on Social Security here in the Philippines. And I know many people here in the Philippines living here that I've helped, and they're here now, and they're living on Social Security alone. I think the lowest amount that I've seen so far is $1,500 Social Security. And of course, there's no Medicare here, so the person knows that that would be an issue if something major medical happens. Most of the people here that I've helped or talked to that are on Social Security, they have an emergency fund. So like if something happens, they're gonna fly. Most people plan on flying to Guam because Guam is the closest to the Philippines. Guam, it may be 4 hour flight to Guam, so that's nothing, if you gotta fly to Guam. And what's nice about Guam, they've actually made it into a kind of like a medical tourism in Guam. They have a thing in place where it's set up so when you land in Guam, they know people come to Guam for Medicare. So it's not like you're going there and you're going to be blind. I mean, it'd be a good idea to go to Guam first before you go to the Philippines. Maybe on your way to the Philippines, stop at Guam, get that paperwork, get that information. That way, when you're sick already, you're not landing in Guam and you don't know where to go. Like, I know my friend Darren, it's like he went there with his other friend. They flew to Guam and they checked out Guam. So he knows the layout of like how it's going to happen if he lands in Guam and decides to use Medicare there someday. It's always a good thing to research, and then even like the city or the province where you plan on going, like JP is doing. He's looking for anglers. He's looking for a place like to get his fishing equipment. This is the time when you're still in the US. Like I did when I was still in the US, I was trying to find information in the Philippines. And it's so important to figure out your medical care. To me, it would be like a mistake if you just fly to the Philippines, move here, and you don't know what medical care that you will have access once you get here. It's like not all cities in the Philippines, not all provinces in the Philippines are the same. Like in Calibo now, here in our province of Aklan, we don't have a city. There's not a single city in Aklan province. There's 17 municipalities, basically 17 towns. But we have a nice hospital now. We have Asia Pacific Medical Center. It's open a year and a half now. Very modern facility. Got an MRI even. It's like even Rojas City doesn't have an MRI because a friend of mine was looking for an MRI in Rojas City, and he was surprised to find out that they don't have an MRI. To me, that's a basic medical equipment. You don't want to go to a place without an MRI because, like, what if you bang your head or something, like you get a concussion? You need that MRI fast. You don't want to be like driving 4 hours to get an to an MRI machine. It's important. It's important to do that research before you land here. But like I was saying, it's like that's the lowest so far that I've seen here in the Philippines. 1,500 on Social Security, and my friend, he lives well, because his rent is like $180. So he's got like 1,300 left, but he's single. He doesn't have a Filipina yet, no family, so he's able to save some from that 1,500. I have another friend. He's gonna be coming here soon. October is where he reserved his flight. He's coming here with less than 1,500, less than 1,500. But he plans on working 6 months still. He's like 63. He plans on working still in the US 6 months and then living here 6 months. He drives a truck, a semi truck. So that's his plan. And I tell people, it's like, do you, man? If that's what you want to do with your life, it's like, don't let other people like, oh, that's not gonna work, or oh, that's a terrible plan. It's like, man, at least he's asking me. We're trying to figure out. It's doable. It's doable. He's single. It's like he was just thinking he's got money saved up. He's got but he just didn't want to keep working. He wants to at least be semi-retired. At least experience like 6 months of fun and then go back to driving a semi-truck. Ray, my good friend Ray, good morning. Boracay, my brother, getting ready for installation of the new office. Oh, awesome! Cool. So awesome, man. My Ray, he's very active with this is American Legion. He does the color flag. He does the guard. Like carrying the flag in his uniform, retired Air Force uniform. That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. And that's the thing, I was gonna say regarding the budget. If you're coming to the Philippines on like 1,500, let's just say 1,500, you could do it here in the Philippines. Very doable. I mean, it depends on the person also, but if you're coming here on 1,500 budget Social Security, you got to make sure you're not spending more of that or right at that. It's like you have to make sure that you're leaving at least $200 put away, every month, yeah. Or have that fund, have that emergency fund just in case you have to fly back to the United States for a serious medical condition and use your Medicare because Medicare. You've earned Medicare. It's free, when you're in the U.S. I don't know the numbers, I don't know if you actually, it's all free, but majority free, I think, But Medicare, I'm not there yet, so I don't, But here in the Philippines, for like your medical test, very affordable. I was just walking here in Boracay with my friend, and there's a lab on the main road here, full set of labs, creatinine, cholesterol, all blood work, and it was like 2,300. That's like $40 to get all your blood work done. So at the minimum you should do that. Like when you land in the Philippines, get your blood work done, make sure your sugar, your cholesterol, your creatinine, make sure they're within level, that they're in that range of that it's not high. It's like so at the minimum you should do that, and then I know you can get a physical. I mean, they even have these like at Medical City, Clark. I remember even at Medical City Iloilo, they have those executive physical. I mean, you don't have to go that, like it's pricey to get the full length physical. They put like EKG, they run you on the treadmill, all that. But, it's worth the investment, in my opinion, especially if you're still in good health. You want to get checked, when you want to get, and that's doable here. There's a lot of wellness programs here that don't cost a lot of money. Get ahead of the game, it's like, don't wait till something's wrong with you before you get checked, medical wise. That's just my opinion. Very affordable here to get lab work, to get wellness checks, physicals, it's like, to me, that's like, as we age, especially, I'm going to be 59 years soon, 60 next year. At that age, I'm getting checked every year. I'm getting checked anyway with my cancer recovery. But, that to me, that's a minimum that you have to spend that money on getting checked. But I know some people I know, it's like, like I said, I was medical for 27 years. I know some people hate hospitals or don't want to get checked because they're thinking, man, they're going to find something. It's like, but to me, that's kind of like the wrong mentality. You want to get checked, you want to see, because you can like mitigate a problem before it gets out of hand. You can find problems in your body that they can help you, or maybe change your diet, maybe prescribe you something that will help you lower the level. You don't want to like be like, in bad shape before you go to the hospital. Tanya, all right. Do U.S. citizens or green card holders collect 100% of their Social Security even if they no longer? Oh, yes. That's always been the case, Tanya. I can actually, when I turn 62, I plan on filing my Social Security at the U.S. Embassy in Manila. I do not have to go to the United States to apply for my Social Security. They have a Social Security office at the U.S. Embassy in Manila, and I can even designate a Philippine bank to deposit my money. It doesn't have to be a U.S. bank. That's why there is no requirement for me to reside in the United States to collect my Social Security. That's something I earned. I put money into Social Security. I worked for almost 30 years total, like my part, when I worked in high school, 7 years St. Mary's, 20 years in the military. So I earned that, it's like, all I gotta be is alive to collect that. That's why I'm trying to stay as healthy as I can, stress free, live a good life. That way I can hopefully collect many years of Social Security. But no requirement at all for you to live in the United States. I do not have a requirement to ever go back to the United States. I've been here 14 years now. I can live out the rest of my life here in the Philippines. I renewed my passport by mail. It's like my U.S. passport. I think it's good for another 7 years. But when it's due up for renewal, I can send it to the U.S. Embassy in Manila. They mail it back. I don't even have to show up there. I did my renewal on the mail. I can't think of any reason. That's why I don't really have a reason to. The only reason I would go to the United States is to visit people that I want to see. But most of those people come to the Philippines. Most of them, my sister, she'll be here again in January, February. My good friends, they all come here because they all like, man, I gotta check out the Philippines. Ginno's in the Philippines. I want to like tour the Philippines with Ginno, So, and me, I've already seen the U.S. I've lived there. It's like, and now with all the stuff going on in the U.S., it's kind of like not a fun time. It's like even like coming into the air. Oh, there's Dazzle. Hey, babe. You got Chloe. She got to pee. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks, babe. Thanks. She was scratching the door.
Good morning.
All right. There's Dazzle. Chloe was scratching the door. That means that she has to pee. So, a lot of things I'm watching, YouTube, I'm watching the news, a lot of things happening in the Philippines, in the US. So, for me, it's like, man, there's too much drama for me, like I have a peaceful, quiet life here in the Philippines. I walk on the beach most days here in the Philippines, and why would I trade it up for like, chaos that I'm seeing there? Like I said before, I'm a patriot, a retired military, 20 years. I served the United States. I'm proud of my military service, but I don't like what I'm seeing in the U.S. I don't like what I'm, hopefully it get turned around. Hopefully, U.S. solves its issues and all, but not a fun thing to go to the U.S. It's not like something that I want to go to the U.S. and enjoy. With all the stuff that's happening there, it's like I don't think many people are excited to go to the United States. I know people that want to work. They here in the Philippines, they would still love to go to the U.S. because it's still the land of opportunity in many Filipinos' eyes. But for people that's like me, that's been there already, that's seen the U.S. and seen what's happening right now, I'd rather stay here. I'd rather stay here in the Philippines. Vegas will gamble. Good morning, Kuya Ginno. Good morning, good morning. Magandang umaga. Mayad nga agahon. Hey, Michael C., my brother, in Tres Martires. Good morning, my brother. Hey, brother, you got your Copico? You got your Copico Blanca? Michael drinks the same coffee I drink. Man. We got our 3-on-1. It's like... Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. Good morning, Daniel. Thanks for the fishing report. Yeah, I mean, JP's on top of the fishing report. He even sent me a link to like fishing spots here in Aklan province. He's doing all the research, man. JP's gonna be our go-to guy, Daniel, as far as fishing. Fishing is medical care. Hey, man, whatever like lowers that stress level, whatever calms people down, if fishing calms you down, relaxes you, man, I'm all for that, man. People are just stressed, man. When I watch YouTube, I watch YouTube, my feeds or Facebook, man. People are just stressed. It's like people get all upset about stuff that it for me, just my life, when I look at people get all bent out of shape about stuff, I'm like, man, to me it's like nonsense, man. Why just live? We're here on earth on a limited time. Why waste your time being angry and confrontational and all that, man? It's like, that doesn't help the heart rate. That doesn't help the blood pressure when you're like all ready to kill someone, or throwing stuff at people. It's like, come on. It's like just calm down, like my friend Jamal says, calm down, calm down. Edgar Dean, Tanya, yes, if they have 10 full paid in years, that qualify. Yes. It's like no problem at all collecting Social Security here in the Philippines, and you never have to go back to the U.S. unless you want to. I think one day all they do here in the Philippines, they send in the like a mailer, to like make sure you're still alive. That way they'll keep sending the check. There've been issues with that because the Philippine postal system is like terrible. It's like they lose stuff. But I think eventually, what makes sense to me anyway, it's like the Philippines is not a big country. If you're collecting Social Security here, if the Social Security department's so concerned if you're still alive to collect, why not just make you show up at the embassy once a year or twice, once every 2 years, just to say, hey, I'm present, I'm still moving, show up at the Social Security office. I think maybe that would be something that Social Security will do here in the Philippines one day, just to make sure that they're not sending a check to somebody that's no longer alive. Mosa, hello, Mosa Munib Explorer. Hey, balikbayan guy, good morning, magandang umaga, kaibigan. Salamat for joining the live stream. HD, alright, magandang umaga, mayat nga agahon. GP, alright, Sergeant USA Anglers Haven has an average Google Maps presence, but good Facebook. All right, I can find that then, JP. If they have a good Facebook, that's usually how I find people, man. Usually I look at the store and I look at the buildings next to it, because here in the Philippines, that's one thing lacking in the province. I don't know about the Iloilo, maybe better, because I have seen street numbers in like our condo when we stayed at General Luna Street had a number. So they have street numbers. Unlike here in the province, like in Numancia, I've not seen a street number. In Numancia where we live, it's all about like it's near the gas station. It's near the 7-Eleven. It's never like a street address or even a street. Period. There's no streets. There's no street signs. I'm just riding through roads. It's like, what is this place? No street number, no street signs. When you have a delivery, like if you have a delivery from Ninja Van is what delivers our stuff. Kind of like UPS, I guess, like the version. What happens on delivery day is like you'll receive a text. I'll receive a text. Sir, you have a package. I need to deliver it to you. Where can we meet? So usually they know like the guardhouse at Camellia, because there's like 300 homes at Camellia, but we have a guardhouse, and that's where they deliver it. I said, I'll just message you, just give it to the guard. So our guard, our gate guard at the Camellia, he's almost like a mini post office. It's like he's got packages in it. They're like multitasking. They have become like our postal office at Camellia, because like if me, I get a lot of when I buy something from Lazada, I never pay for it. Like I always select cash on delivery, because for me it's like, I don't want to pay for it on GCash, and then they don't deliver it or something. I kind of worry about that. So everything I buy on Lazada is kind of like the Amazon of the Philippines. Shopee is another one, Shopee or Lazada. They're like competition. But I always select cash on delivery. So what I do is like when the guy contacts me, sir, I got your package. I need to deliver it to you. And this is the amount, exact amount, because they want exact amount. Because like a lot of times there's no change. They don't carry change. So what I do, I put my money in a Ziploc. I put my name on it, and then the money in the Ziploc, and I leave it with the guard, our gate guard. And when the guy comes to so I don't even have to be there. I could do my errands, do my thing, and then I just have to check with our gate guard. Hi, babe. Thanks for walking, Chloe. There's Dazzle. She's awake. She's awake, guys. Dazzle is awake.
Baklang.
Oh, did you see the other dog? The other dog is kind of like eyeballing Chloe. When we went downstairs, I walked her before I started the live stream, babe.
It is actually Chloe that wants to go.
I know. Look, Chloe ran to the other dog. That's why I was like, they're not fighting. They like each other. But like, I was trying to walk Chloe earlier, babe, and she wouldn't pee. Her attention was with the other dog.
Oh.
That's why she woke you up, because I always walk Chloe before I start the live stream because I know she has to pee. But earlier, there's another dog there that Chloe likes to play with.
Yeah.
So she was busy playing.
We named him Poogie.
We named him Pogi because it's
We
Pogi.
didn't know what's
It's a
name.
male dog, so Chloe's interested. I said, no, Chloe, we don't want no puppies.
No puppies.
No puppies, no puppies. Yeah, so like, the guard, the shack, the guard shack, the guardhouse, little guardhouse. Like I said, there's like packages in there. Other residents leave their money. I mean, that's a full-time job almost, because there's like 300 residents in Camellia, but they manage it, man. It's just one guard opening the gate, delivering packages. They're giving money to the delivery guy. I mean, that's why they're so awesome, man. That's why every time I get a chance, I get them pandesal. I get them, if we go to Calibo, I'll buy something for the guards because, man, they do like an outstanding job in our community. 1,500 in Florida doesn't cover my rent for a 50-year-old crappy apartment. I know. That's why a lot of people are moving here. It's like of course, there are always going to be bashers. There's always going to be people discouraging people. But that's like, a $200 apartment. This is, crappy, but it's not. It's like, I lived in an apartment in Calibo, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment for 4 years while I was going to school. My apartment was nice. I mean, it had, it's all cement, tile floors. I had to get my own furniture. I actually got one of these bamboo set furniture. I think I paid less than 4,000 pesos for like a living room set. I had to buy AC. The AC I bought was like the window type AC was like 7,000, I think at the time. So like $150. So it wasn't hard for me to like furnish that apartment. I probably should have gotten a furnished apartment, but during that time there weren't many furnished apartment. Not like now. Now it's like Calibo has a lot of furnished apartment now. People are getting smart. People are like fixing up their place, making it into an Airbnb or a furnished apartment. They can get more. A month. But very doable on 1,500 here. Not in BGC, not like if you select Cebu City, that won't be doable there. You'll have to do sacrifices if you want to live in the city. But there are many provinces that you can do that. And even like Dumaguete City, I've seen like Dumaguete City. I noticed like the rent in Dumaguete City is slightly moving upwards, because more expats are moving to Dumaguete City. But that's a doable city on $1,500, I think. If you can get your rent in Dumaguete City below $300 a month and have like $1,200 left for your food and budget, it's doable. It's doable. And it's not like people say, oh, but they're going to be living crappy. It's not a good life. But man, you're going to be living close to the ocean. Just get yourself a motorbike, $1,300 motorbike. You can get you around, So I've seen many people have good life here in the Philippines on 1,500. Do you have access to the numbers like HDL? Yes, all those numbers. Here in the Philippines, HD, when you get lab work done, they give you the full report. They're not like in the US, it's like, you know how the HIPAA rules in the US, they're strict about medical records and all that. Man, here you can get everything, the report you get, it's like, you'll see it there, and then you'll see like, low or high, the range of low and high. So it'll red flag it. If you're low on something or high on something, you'll know. So at the minimum, I tell people, once you come to the Philippines, get your blood work done when you get here to the Philippines at the minimum, because it gives you a baseline of what you got, before anything goes wrong. Because at least if you land here, you get all your lab work done, you got the report in hand, hide it safely, put it away. If 6 months later or 8 months later you get sick and they do blood work with you, you have something to compare it with. It's like the doctor's not going to be blind. He's going to be like, how come your creatinine level shot up, or how come your cholesterol level shot up? He can see like, oh, when this guy came to the Philippines, this was his lab work, and 6 months later, a year later, it went up. So he must be doing something to like jack it up. He might be eating too much lechon, or maybe change the diet. Maybe because Filipinos, man, the diet here in the Philippines, a lot of food here got a lot of sugar and salt. Filipinos love like fried food, salty food, and sugar. Everything's on sugar. I mean, you can even taste sugar on spaghetti here, on chicken adobo. I mean, you can taste sweet here in the Philippines. That's why, if we cook more of our food at the house, because I can control. My friends send me that dash, so I don't have to put salt. I use that dash. Things like that. It's good if you have that baseline. If that's why when you land here in the Philippines, that should be like one of your checklist items. Get some blood work done at the hospital here. Find out what's your closest hospital. Find out your general practitioner, your family doc. Get yourself a doctor, because you need one. It's not like, you can't come here to the Philippines and never get sick. We all get sick, even for sore throat or upset stomach. That's so common here when you land in the Philippines. It's like, I don't know if it's the water, I don't know if it's the food, but even me, when I first landed here in Boracay in 2011, I had cramps on my stomach, and I've never had that in my entire life. I was like, man, that was, so I had to go see a doctor, get antibiotics, and it was good after 14 days, things like that. Medical is so important, when you come here, because most of the people that come to the Philippines are here to retire or are on a pension already. So we're at that age where medical, I think, is just a part of our life. As we age, we're gonna need medical. If Canadian retire outside of Canada, are equivalent or associated subject with withholding tax unless Canada is really with other. Yes, yeah, I know about that, Tanya, because I have a Canadian friend here, and he's got to fly back. Actually, I think he's in Canada right now. He had to fly back to Canada. He'll be back again soon, because that's part of the reason he's got to like manage that. Canada works a different way, kind of with retirement. JP, Anglers Haven has some of my favorite brands. Oh, nice. I'm glad to hear that, JP. I'm glad to hear that. And Dazzle, JP, gonna be your, fishing partner. She loves fishing. We will find yours and Dazzle's fishing spots here in Aklan province, and I'm sure we'll find some. It's just a matter of looking, checking it out. And the good thing here in Aklan province is there's no fishing license required. You can pretty much fish anywhere you want, except for private property. we don't want you and Dazzle fishing at like somebody's fish pond. They might be selling that fish, on the private fish pond. But anything like any river, any beach, any it's all along a bridge. You know, if there's like nice water, you can fish anywhere at the port, like at the jetty port. I see people fishing there. No fishing requirement, no license required. And then, as you know, the other thing, there's no bait. You know, there's no bait shops. I haven't seen bait shops here, but you can come up with your own bait. You know, because if you go to like the fish market early, there's still fish there that are alive. There's squid there that are alive, shrimp that are alive. So I'm sure you and Dazzle can figure out what your bait's gonna be. Ooh, that Dazzle's up early and she's sweeping. She's cleaning up our room. Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. HD, I discussed with my primary care provider details and research papers on deciding my care. If you know what you're doing, they actually enjoy it. Thank you, HD. I'm glad you shared that because that's the same with me. You know, it's like with my oncologist. I don't rely just on my oncologist. I do my own research, and then my oncologist loves it when me and him talk because like, oh man, I can tell you've been reading up, Ginno, that you're understanding. You know, I understood like the process, my cancer recovery, things that I have to stay away, things that I have to do, like avoiding the sun. You know, it's a big thing for me because a part of my cancer was that. You know, so I mean, doctors love that HD, right? Because like it tells the doctor that you're interested in your health. You know, that you want to stay healthy and you want to take care of yourself. And you know, any doctor would love that instead of you like, you know, not doing all the things you're supposed to. Like if the doctor tells you you got to limit your drinking, you might want to quit smoking, but you don't follow. You know, I'm sure doctors don't like hearing that. Japan made has very high quality fish gear and some of the coolest gear. Oh, I'm sure, man. Japan always got that technology thing. I mean, even their toilet, you know, looks amazing. You know, they got heated seats. I remember this was back when I was in Japan, like 25 years ago. I lived in Japan for 4 years. And man, back then they had like heated toilet seats already. When you sit down, it's like warm, you know. I mean, you know, they just a lot of stuff, even just on their toilet. I mean, they're into technology in Japan, some of the coolest stuff. And I'm sure fishing gear would be the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they have like a bait that's like got technology involved there, like a camera or something to see the water. That, you know, they got all kinds of cool stuff in Japan, man. I love Tokyo, man. When you go to Tokyo, all those electronic stores in Tokyo, they'll show you all the latest and greatest, you know. I agree. I like their Shimano gears. Oh yeah. I know about Shimano, but not on the fishing. Not on fishing. Shimano gears are like on bicycles. I've used a lot of Shimano, like on my road cycling. When I was doing road cycling, I remember Shimano gears. Tim C, all right, yo, all right, Tim C. Tim C, you made a comment about the big door, man. That's a gigantic door. That's why I took a picture. I didn't even catch the whole picture. I've never seen a door like that. It's at the Feliz Hotel. Is that door, Tim? It's like Dazzle was standing there. I couldn't get it on the frame, like the entire door. I mean, the door is like floor to ceiling. I was wondering how, man, that must be like hard for them to open every day because they close it. I'm sure they close that door, you know. Gigantic door, man. AB, what's up? All right. JP, I am super excited to get regular doses of white sand therapy. All right. Yesterday, man, it's amazing here in Boracay. That's why I love June. You know, not, you know, a few days ago, like 3 days, it was raining, cloudy. Man, the last 2 days has been beautiful, man. Perfect weather, man. And then yesterday, I went to Bulabog Beach, another beach. The video I had today was Diniwid Beach. Yesterday, I went to Bulabog Beach. It's the backside of White Beach. They call it Back Beach or Bulabog Beach. Man, I was blown away. You know, I have never seen Bulabog Beach that that nice. I mean, it's like a postcard. When I was walking and I was filming it, I was like, I just felt so thankful. I'm like, man, am I really watching this? Am I really seeing this? Just white sand, blue water, blue skies. People like kiteboarding. They have that kite where it drags you on the board. Like it's almost like being pulled by a speedboat. But the kite is the one that's pulling them. But just amazing day. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And Bulabog, it has improved so much. Right before the pandemic, there was a Boracay closure because that beach was getting trashed. People weren't taking care of it. But they closed Boracay for 6 months and they cleaned up the beach. And then during the pandemic, they built the esplanade, like a nice walkway. I would say at least 2 kilometers of walkway, brick sidewalk. People skateboard on it. People ride their bike. I saw a bicycle rental place that has the electric bike, and you don't need a driver's license for those. I saw people renting them. Couples like riding the esplanade. It's so cool. I mean, like, I hope you guys enjoy the video when it comes out. They have just done such a good job on Bolabog Beach. That used to be kind of like the forgotten beach. Everybody prefers White Beach, but it's not as crowded as White Beach, but it is nice. It's like it looked spectacular yesterday when I filmed it. Love y'all. Hello, how are you? I'm doing good. Just getting my day started here. Like my morning cup of coffee. Dazzle's awake early, so we'll probably head somewhere to get breakfast this morning. There's just a lot of places here that we haven't even tried. Like last night we were thinking of trying at Robinson. There's a Robinson's Mall now here, and there's a restaurant called Paran, Paran. We haven't eaten there. They had an all-you-can-eat Korean food, like where you cook the food, and I think it was like 480 pesos, about $9 per person, but all you can eat. So we wanted to try that last night, but we got lazy. We're like, oh man, because where we're staying at, we got to it's a good walk just to get to the main road. So usually we get the habal habal. The habal habal is like a two-wheeler motorbike, and both Dazzle and I can hop on the habal habal, and it will take us up the hill. It's about almost a kilometer up going uphill, and the habal habal charges us like 20 pesos each, so 40 pesos, about 75 cents for us to get to the main road. And then from the main road, we can catch the e-trikes, 30 pesos on the e-trikes to take us to D-Mall or wherever we want to go. So not expensive to get around Boracay. But I think we'll do that today. We might do that Korean barbecue, all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue today. Maybe even for lunch, I don't know what Dazzle's gonna. I always let Dazzle decide, because me, man, I'll eat it. I'll pretty much eat anything. Bringing one Shimano and pen reel with me on my move. Nice. Hey, man, it's like, you gotta bring, what you gotta prioritize what you like. For me, when I came here 14 years ago, I bought a new laptop. That was priority for me. I bought a new laptop at Best Buy. I got a good deal on it. It was a Dell. I remember it was a Dell laptop. I bought I didn't get an iPhone because even back then iPhone was like pricey. I just got like a smartphone from Best Buy. I bought everything from Best Buy, all my electronics. I bought like a smartphone that was unlocked. That way, if you get a smartphone or any phone that's like unlocked, when you land in the Philippines, you just got to get the SIM card and then register it. So you're good to go. What else did I bring? Oh, because I knew I was going to Boracay Island, and I love snorkeling, so I bought my own snorkeling mask and with the tube and fins. I didn't get the full fin, I had like a half fin, but I knew that would do. That would do here in Boracay. Those are my priorities, because I knew the minute I landed in Boracay, I was going to do a lot of snorkeling. So I brought my own snorkeling gear. It wasn't expensive, when I bought it in the U.S. I think I bought it like at Dick's Sporting Goods in Tucson, Arizona. So, I was prepared, the things that I wanted to do, it's like I had the stuff, Oh, and then I bought a helmet, like a bicycle helmet, because I knew when I got here to the Philippines, I was going to buy a bicycle. So I just bought a bicycle helmet and I strapped it on my backpack. I had my backpack and I strapped it on my backpack. And then when I was going through the airport, I would even wear my helmet, and they would like, won't say anything with me, it's like, but you can make a list. You can, I think I did a video one time. I might do it again. I might do a video on like things to bring, things to bring. Like for sure, bring yourself like that cortisone, cortisone for bites, for insect bites, because you're gonna get bit here. This is a tropical nation, man. There's a lot of bugs here, even on the beach. I don't know. It's like when I come back from the beach, sometimes on my legs, I have like bite marks. So we always carry like cortisone. We always have cortisone, and then mosquito repellent. That's a good thing to have because we got mosquitoes in the Philippines. I don't think you can go anywhere in the Philippines that don't have mosquitoes. Most houses like this, got screens. So it prevents the mosquitoes from going inside your home like us. We have like a sliding screen on all our windows in our house. So we don't have mosquitoes in the house. But the minute you walk out your house, like when Dazzle and I walk at sunset, or even when we go to a 7-Eleven in Numancia, there's mosquitoes. So, repellent, that would be good to bring. And those things here in the Philippines, they're not cheap here. Like friends of ours from Arizona, Joel and Eileen, that's why when they come see us every year, they come home to Calibo. They'll be here again in January. They always give us stuff like that, and we appreciate it too. Joel and Eileen, they're so kind because they know what stuff are expensive here in the Philippines. Like they'll bring us they'll buy it like at Costco, and they'll give us like 10 cortisone creams or the giant bottle of Dash. Mosquito repellent, those things are at least twice to 3 times as expensive. Like you can buy like a small bottle even of a sunscreen here in the Philippines, expensive. A small container here will cost about $9, like 500 pesos. And, you can go through that bottle quick, because if you're out in Boracay in the sun, but our friends, they would buy us the giant tube at Costco, the Equate brand, to me, man, as long as it's sunscreen, it works, But there's things like that you will help you when you get here, that you bring already, Of course, like if you, like something for your stomach, like Pepto-Bismol, Alka-Seltzer, even Advil or Tylenol, those are expensive here in the Philippines because they're considered imported. Anything that's like considered imported, there's like a 17% duty tax here in the Philippines. So that's already like 20% higher. And then, of course, when it's imported, they'll raise the price here in the Philippines. So a lot of your medication that's over the counter, easy to get, like at Walgreens or CVS. Here in the Philippines, there's not, it's easy to get medication here, but there's not a lot of that over the counter stuff that even Tums, if you got acid reflux, bring Tums because you'll have a hard time finding that here in the Philippines. Edgar, have you ever thought about renting an e-bike to get around Boracay, or traffic crazy? No, traffic is not crazy. Many people are renting an e-bike here. As a matter of fact, that video I shot yesterday on Bulabo Beach. It's a whole store, and just looking from outside, I see like 30 e-bikes there. They're not the big e-bikes like in the US. Like in the US, you can get like, I know you can get like a standard a mountain bike, a standard bike. These e-bikes are kind of like shorter, smaller wheels, but they're an e-bike, and many people rent them. Many people rent them. I gotta find out how much, because this is Boracay, so I'm sure it might be pricey, but I saw two people. I actually caught them on film. I think Dazzle used them on the thumbnail. This couple, they're like on the e-bike, the smaller e-bike. You can actually put two people on the e-bike because there's a back seat. But these e-bikes are like smaller, lower. Even the pedals are smaller on it. I'm pretty sure they're probably made in China. They're not the best e-bikes, but it gets you around. It gets you around here in Boracay. The main road, you might see more traffic, but it might struggle on the hills because that's one thing about Boracay. It's hilly here. You'll be surprised because it's an island. You're thinking it's a vacation spot. You're thinking, oh, it's an island. It should be flat. Man, there's a lot of hills, like big hills too, So I don't know how good the e-bikes to go, but you can pedal. You can assist pedal it and use some of your electric power on it. Like I know eventually, like if Dazzle and I, once I get my Social Security in 3 years, more likely we'll probably live here. We're looking at the Nucos Boracay. I will definitely buy my own e-bike here, like a good size e-bike, the ones that are like, it looks like a mountain bike with the electric support on it. And there are some here on the island. I know some of you can tell they're long-time residents. They own those bikes. And I know they're like in the Philippines, they're about 50 to 60,000 pesos. I don't know the brand. So that's about $1,000 for those good mountain bike e-bikes. And I'm sure 3 years from now, prices will probably drop. A lot of those electric stuff now, they're getting cheaper to buy than when they first came out. But traffic's not bad. There's areas, I would say by the D Mall area, it's the mall area here in Boracay. So you'll always see congestion there because people are like, in and out of D Mall, But for the most part, like in the City Mall area here, no traffic here. Robinson's area, no traffic. Most of the island, even Bulabo's got no traffic at all. It's like everybody's focused on White Beach here. White Beach is kind of like the Waikiki, the Waikiki of Boracay. So everybody's on White Beach. That area is crowded, but the rest of the island not crowded at all. I know people said, "Oh, I don't want to go live in a tourist destination," but unless you've tried it, you're gonna you like for me, I've been around Boracay for 14 years. I can avoid all the tourists because I know where the tourists don't go. It's like even the Niwid. I don't see any tourists here in the Niwid. It's mostly locals here. I know Barangay Yapak is the same thing at Puka Beach, Nucos, and it's just a lot of the tourists are in one area. And if you're a local resident here, you just know, how to avoid the tourists. But we don't mind the tourists, like, because the food area is where the tourist goes. Or, the good food here, like the international food, like Italian food, Indian food, Mexican, Latin, all that is on White Beach. So, and Dazzle and I enjoy that. Like, yesterday we went to Epic, and Dazzle had like a breakfast. Salmon. She had salmon, scrambled eggs on homemade bread. I had the nasi goreng. Nasi goreng is like a Malaysian fried rice. I don't cook that stuff. I don't know how to cook Malaysian, but man, that thing's delicious, man. I ate all that fried rice. So it's one of those things where. It's good. Like we stay with more local that our Airbnbs in the local area, but we love going to White Beach when it's like sunset to eat at the nice restaurants there. Like my friend, Ray, he moved into Boracay Nucos. he won't see tourists there. He's, you know, where we filmed, you know, those 2 videos that Ray and I shot at Boracay, Nucos. It's peaceful and quiet there. He won't see any tourists there. He can live there for months and not see a tourist, you know. So there's plenty of area in Boracay where you're not going to be exposed to the tourists. JP, I use pen squall reels. Man, JP is fancy, man. I've never heard of these reels, man. I bet, 80 pound for sturgeon. Oh, I know sturgeon's a big fish, man. I know that. I know sturgeon's a big fish. Tiger boat rides. Man, you're gonna have fun here, man. You probably need to find like boats that will take you like more deep sea fishing so you can catch bigger fish. But they got that here. They got that here in Boracay. My friend actually, Larry, he owns a resort in Antique. He's got an American boat. You know, he's got an American fishing boat on his resort. So, and he said he would love to take Dazzle and I out fishing on his boat. So, JP, we got a boat. And it's a big boat. It's not like a tiny boat. It's an American fishing boat that he brought here from Alaska. Hi, Ginno. Love your content, sir. Oh, thank you. Thanks. So kind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. Good morning, Dazzle. Wow, you're up. I know, right? It's, you know, Dazzle surprises me sometimes too, Tim. You know, it's like she probably got woken up by Chloe, because earlier before I start the live stream, I always try to make sure I walk Chloe, but today there's this dog, male dog that Chloe was interested, so she wasn't peeing. She's like playing around with this dog, and then she ran back up the stairs into the balcony here. So I put her back in, but then she woke up Dazzle because she wanted to go outside. But Dazzle, she'll go back to sleep. Wouldn't be surprised if Dazzle's sleeping again. Because she stays up late. Like even last night, I know she was watching like a Filipino movie on the laptop. Because I would like wake up a little bit and I see Dazzle's watching a movie on the laptop. HD, one reel is SW8000 and the next is smaller pen reel. Ooh, nice, man. Looks like you're ready, Daniel, to do some fishing in the Philippines. Present, but I have to go. All right, Peanut Butter Travels. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my friend. The SW is very nice. Ooh, nice. HD knows about. I'll have to Google it now and look at these things. Let me take a photo so I know what to look for when I Google it. Let me see that. Take a photo of that. All right. That way I can Google it later and look at some of these rod and reel. JPHD, when I was a kid, I went fishing with my dad in Wisconsin. We fished sturgeon, walleye, catfish, all kinds of freshwater fish. Oh, cool, man. That's awesome. I mean, I don't think the freshwater here, I don't think you'll get the big fish, but they got fish here. They got rivers here where you can fish. I know that. But I haven't seen like, those monster, even catfish in the U.S. Most catfish here in the Philippines, they might grow like a foot, maybe a foot, because they get barbecued fast. It's like at nighttime here in the Philippines, in Aklan province, they call it pantat. Pantat, and anywhere you go, any town like Numancia will have it. They have it like on a skewer, like about a foot long. Some of them are fat though. Some of them are fat catfish, and they put them on a stick and they grill them. It's like grilled pantat, grilled catfish. That's very popular. And once they cook it, they just they put the stick on this. They put like they find like a banana tree stump, and that's usually where they put the sticks. That way they're on display. That way, not pork sticks, chicken sticks, and catfish. They'll be like, they stick it on a banana tree stump, so they're on display while they're cooking it. and you just go up there and pick one. Pick one of your pantat or your catfish. Much more affordable than the SW 1600. Have you guys heard of a damn quick 3,000 reel? Man, these are like fancy names, and most of the fishing in the Philippines is saltwater fish. The freshwater are mostly farmed. Yes, yes. I don't see like I was saying, HD. I don't see like, in the U.S. When you go freshwater fishing, I see they catch like big fishes. I don't see that here. Mostly, like you said, they're farmed. They'll like it's almost like the same setup as like a rice field. They'll border it, and then there's water in it, and they'll farm the fish. And it usually is tilapia and bangus, milkfish is what I see, and then crab, of course, the mud crab. Those are like the three that you'll see a lot here. Tilapia, you see the bangus, the milkfish, and then you see the crab. Those are the three that most farm here. I mean, you see plenty of them now. It's like if you go to Rojas City is the seafood capital of the Philippines. I mean, they got like on the road on display, like they'll have like a shack, and it'll just be full of seafood. They'll even have oysters. They'll have mussels, snails. I mean, they got all kinds of seafood on the road, just selling them by the kilo. Hello, Kapil Garg. Hello, my friend. Hello. Magandang umaga. Got over $100 off. Ooh, $100 off. I mean, they must be expensive, Daniel. I jumped on it. Hey, I would too, man. If it's $100 off, man, I would jump to. Where are you from? Right now, I'm broadcasting here in Diniwid, Barangay Balabag, in Boracay Island in the Philippines. I've been living in Aklan province now for 14 years. We live in Numancia, Aklan. But right now, my wife and I and our dog Chloe were in Boracay Island for a month, for 30 days. Hey, Lucita, my friend in Maine. I got your message thank you for greeting me. A happy Father's Day. Appreciate it, Lucita. Good morning, sending you, and that's lots of positive. Thank you. And looks like it's gonna be a good day today. I can tell it's gonna be another sunny day here. It just like I said before, I don't mind rain in Boracay. I like the rain, sun, but when it's sunny here, it's like the beach just looks spectacular here. The water, the white sand, the blue skies, blue water. It's like postcard quality. Like you'll see, the next video is on Bolabog Beach, and half of the video I just stopped talking. First I was explaining all the shops, all the stores, and then the next part of the video I just started walking and filming, because even I was like amazed. I mean, it's like that view from like a small fishing village out in the Pacific Ocean or something. It's like that. It was just an amazing. I felt blessed being able to like walk on Bolabog Beach yesterday. But I haven't looked into the DAM brand. Jumpy might be a better person to ask. Shrimp sounds like a good idea. One for bait, £1 for me. yeah. Oh yeah, plenty of shrimp here. I mean, different sizes too. JP. I mean, tiny ones to like prawns. I mean, like so much shrimp here. Shrimp is one of those seafood here in the Philippines. Like if you go to the market any day of the year, there's shrimp, different sizes of shrimp. And they're still jumping. A lot of times they're like jumping all over. When you buy them, they're still alive when you buy them. I had them reel about 30, 40 and loved it. Cool. HD. I've had the reel and the Awa fishing rod since the 80s. Ginno, did you ever check out the video vlogs on the Skyway bridge fishing? No, let me take a picture of it, man, because man, I got so many things I gotta do, man. It's like, but let me look at that Skyway bridge fishing. All right, I'm gonna look it up on YouTube, man. Because man, a lot of times, this is like a 2 hour live stream. When I'm done, I got stuff to do, man. My brain's doesn't like compute like it used to. If you stop taking the pills that stop reduce cell division, it should be okay for you to be under the sun. The reason why your doctor prohibited it during your treatment is because of the sun. He's still, I'm not prohibited to be in the sun, but I'm just playing it extra safe. It's like, I never had to take any pills, HD, regarding being exposed to the sun. But my doctor just mentioned to me, wear plenty of sunscreen, wear a hat, protect myself from the sun. So of course, I'm gonna follow his advice. And it makes sense anyway. I'm not getting any younger, and then I had cancer, so sun exposure is probably not good for me. So I do all I can. I wear a hat, an umbrella, I could put sunscreen, extra protection. I'm just trying to do all I can to stay healthy and not get any more cancer or come back from cancer. But I wasn't prescribed any medication during my treatments or even after treatments. I'm not on any maintenance medication at all. During my treatments, I had chemo, so they had to like protect, I was taking this pill so I wouldn't throw up. I had that, but I've never had any, that's the thing. I've never had any medication in my life. I've always been healthy. I never spent a day in a hospital. That's why it was out of the blue that I got cancer. Damage will be catastrophic. Your skin cells undergo under lateral replace the top layers, but when the protective mechanism stop, destroy skins can't. Yeah, like for me, HD, I'm just doing, I'm just super careful. It's like extra, I'm probably okay if I catch the sun, but for me, it's not worth it for me. I can avoid it. I do all I can to avoid the sun. Happy Father's Day. Hey, Janet. Yeah, hello. Thank you, Janet, for stepping by. Appreciate you, my friend. Sounds like it's pretty reliable, real. Mom Janet. All right. Hi, Janet. Caught my first fish at wow, 18-pound salmon. You won't catch that in the Philippines, but I've never seen that 18-pound salmon here. That's a big fish, 18 pounds. And Jumpy, I made raw shrimp. Preparing was a lot work. Cleaning, forming, batter. Oh yeah, I know. I'm allergic to shrimp now, so I'm like, unfortunately, that was one of the reactions I had from chemotherapy. I'm allergic to shellfish now. There's a lot of food that I have to avoid now. But Dazzle, she still buys shrimp. She still eats shrimp. End of July, early August has tax-free sales on PC. Would you? Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the same thing I did. Man. My last year in the United States, I was looking at ads on Best Buy, and I got a really good deal on at the time the Dell laptop. Of course, I don't have the laptop now. That's been 14 years. I bought the laptop I use now. I've had it now for 5 years. It's a Lenovo, and I only paid $300. It was like $300 here in the Philippines. It's a good laptop, And then my friend Ruben, he just gave me a laptop that he bought on Amazon. When he flew here, he handed me a new laptop. So I have a backup now to the old laptop that I have. Filipinos say ma'am, which sounds like mom. Oh yeah, mom. That's right. HD, mom. They say that, that's all that. when Dazzle's shopping, they said, Mom, I was made fun in elementary school in the US when I said ma'am, since they thought I said mom in class. And mom, oh, okay, that's funny. I never caught on to that. I never caught it. I was like, when I moved to the US HD, what I remember, I graduated in Letran in Manila, but when I moved to the US, I started like my first year of high school in the US. Man, I was just quiet, man. I was just like, I didn't want to like say anything because it was like I was nervous, it's like, it was a big change for me going to school in Long Beach Wilson High, because it's like, you know, in Letran, it was an old boys school. We were like regimented. We were disciplined. It's like we stayed in one classroom. We were quiet. Very strict, very strict. Then I came to the U.S. It was a public school, Long Beach Wilson, and it's chaos. The minute the bell rings, everybody's like, everybody's talking. The hallways are crowded, locker rooms. I mean, to me, it was like, man, it's like, it was a big change for me. But I adjusted after a while. It's like, and a lot of times, what I remember, that the slang English, that it took me a while to pick that up, because in the U.S. that's how people talk, especially high school. There's a lot of slang, that I didn't understand when. So I just tried to be quiet. I just tried to I did more observing and listening than more talking. And then that's the other thing, pronouncing words, because they pronounce words different, that I had a Filipino accent when I went to the United States. That was Saturday dinner with roasted asparagus spaghetti. It was good. So shrimped out, you're shrimped out. I have now found asparagus here in the Philippines. I've never seen asparagus. A viewer actually asked me that before, like, have I seen asparagus here in the Philippines? I have not seen it. I'm in the hunt. Every time on the public market, I always look for asparagus, but I've never seen it here. HD Isa gave me Mommy Janet years ago. We are very close after 4 years. I know her family, Mom. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Mommy Janet. All right. Jumpy. JP. In history, I didn't know shrimp out was a thing. Shrimp out was a thing? Yeah, man, when I used to eat shrimp, man, I don't get, man. The one thing I remember with shrimp or crab when I used to eat it, I used to tell Dazzle all the time when I was still able to eat it before. Now I'm allergic. But I can never get full. I can just keep eating it. I don't get full. I tell Dazzle, man, the only bad thing about shrimp and crab is I don't get full eating it. Thanks for the clarification, Janet. All right. Balik back. Okay. I say ma'am like ate to show respect to older folks. Yes. I do the same thing. Ma'am and sir, we were military. In the military, everybody above us, above rank was you always said ma'am and sir. And they don't have to be even older. In the military, I could be older than them, but if they're like an officer, if they were a lieutenant, I would address them as sir or ma'am. It's just military taught us that, we have to respect the rank. Said hi. It's regarded as a term of endearment, like auntie. Oh, auntie, yeah. Hear that. Dazzler calls everybody auntie or uncle or auntie. As long as it's possible, I share the joy. Sunny here. Yeah. Yep, those bike runs about $1,000 here or more. Oh yeah, they're not cheap. That electric bike. It's probably more here in the Philippines because they don't make them here. It's mostly imported to the Philippines. I know a lot of them come from China. Hopefully they start building more things here in the Philippines. I know manufacturing is getting big in Laguna, in Luzon area. I know they're building factories there and they're producing more made in the Philippine items. It's like hoping the next few years they just keep building factories here and building more stuff here than getting them from China. I mean, the labor here should be, they can hire a lot of people here that will work in factories. That's not a problem in the Philippines. So, balikbayan guy, I heard they stopped Pledge of Allegiance. I was doing that from elementary until my freshman year in high school. Yeah, Lyanna, they do Pledge of Allegiance here. Every Monday in Lyanna School, public school, Numancia Integrated School, every Monday is like flag ceremony day. They sing the national anthem. They pledge allegiance to the flag. They do Aklan hymn. They sing Aklan hymn. They do like a Numancia, the Numancia hymn, and then they do the Numancia Integrated School song. So they're busy, and then they do a little bit of calisthenics afterwards because I filmed it before. Usually they'll start like at 7:30 and they'll be done around 8:15. They go through all the songs, they pledge allegiance, and then at the very end they do jumping jacks, knee bends, and then they go to class every Monday at Numancia Integrated School. And they have to wear their uniform. It's not mandatory, but I would say 90% or 95% of the kids have their uniform on Monday. Jumpy, my hubby, and I, age 14, colossal shrimp each. I'm shrimped out, Colossal, that's a lot of colossal shrimp, 14. Balik, Mom Jan is more consistent. I prefer since that's what the Filipino call uses for me. All right, Mom Janet. All right, I have to remember that, Mom Janet. JP, I love seafood and would eat into a mild seafood coma. You're gonna have fun here, man, in Aklan province then, JP, because there are a lot of seafood here. That's one thing we don't lack of is seafood because Aklan province from New Washington, Calibo, Numancia, Makato, Tangalan, Ibahay. I mean, half of the province is coastal, and if it's not coastal, there's Aklan River. Aklan River passes through several municipalities. It's a big river. It's not like a tiny river. So lots of seafood, and then we're only 2 hours away from Rojas City. Rojas City is the seafood capital of the Philippines. So you're gonna eat a lot of seafood in Panay Island, JP. That's not going to be a problem. I mean, we got vendors, even in our community, in our subdivision, at our gate. They're not allowed to go in the subdivision to sell inside, but like from 7 in the morning to 8 in the morning, there's usually guys in motorbikes. They got like those styrofoam coolers attached to their motorbike. They'll park there and they'll sell their goods because they know residents know that they're there at that time and people would buy fish and seafood. Freshly caught, a lot of them freshly caught from, I think they get it from Makato, and then in Numancia, of course, there's fishermen in Numancia too. Here we women don't like to be called ma'am. Makes us, yeah, I remember, I know, Mom Janet, I know, that's ma'am is kind of like, it could be looked at another like you're getting up there in age if they call you ma'am. I concur 1000%. JP, Daniel said I concur 1000%. Next is a good shrimp salad. Ooh, shrimp salad. We used to say the Pledge of Allegiance in grade school in the 70s and 80s. My daughter still says it in school. She's in the 5th grade. Oh, good. I'm glad. To me, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. To me, it's like, it's good that they still do the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute. Hey. Thanks. At 70, ma'am sounds old. Also, we use nanny. Oh, nanny. So, yeah, I've heard of nanny. Nana, Nani. All right. Ma'am is typically used in the Philippines. You can ask them if they mean ma'am or mom, or you can ignore it and believe that they are saying mom. Chicago. All right. Wow. How did he pack the fishing boat to get it to the PH? LOL. I know my friend Larry. I know he's got money. You know, he's got money because his resort is amazing. I actually met Larry for the first time years ago at my apartment. The apartment in Calibo. It was a three-story apartment. I would sell 12 units in that apartment. Larry owned the apartment. That's how I met Larry. 2012, he owned the building. We're in Calibo, so I could tell Larry's, he's well off. He invested well during his life. That's why now he's got that resort in Antique province, and he's got the boat. He can afford to, when you have money, man, you could do a lot of things. That's why it doesn't surprise me sometimes, like some of the things I see here in our province of Aklan. Things that you would never expect, like, now, how did that get here? That kind of thing. Because there's people that got money. If you have enough money, you can bring pretty much anything from America to the Philippines, like collector item vehicles that you would not expect would be here in the Philippines. And you would see it on the road and you're going like, now, how did they get that here? It's like, HD is from Philippines, uses Mommy Janet. She appointed me here, YouTube mom. YouTube mom, you're the YouTube mom, Janet. No misinterpretation. My friends are mostly Asian because of my spirit. They connect, so I don't dwell on the kind of stuff. I'm laid back, not rigid in vocabulary. Why? I'm now in entertainment. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that Filipinos will use ma'am. Yeah, Dazzle gets ma'am all the time. Anytime we go shopping, even at the grocery, I think they're just trained. I think most of your workers in the grocery, at the mall, even at the fast food places, food carts, they're just trained to say ma'am or sir. Janet, all right, house, okay. All right, think who's barbecue today? We're not, when we're here in the Boracay, there is a one burner stove here, but most of the time when we're in Boracay, it's just easier for us. Like the karinderya is so cheap to eat for Dazzle and I to eat in karinderya here in Diniwid. Like I can get a rice, one meat item, and one vegetable item for lunch, and I'm paying like 100 pesos here in Diniwid. So that's like $1.75, maybe less than $2 for lunch. So between Dazzle and I, $4 for lunch here in Diniwid. So it's easier for us to just eat at the karinderya, and they cook it fresh. You can see them like coming out of the big like a big skillet. They're cooking it on the wok, the big wok. They'll pour it. It's still hot. We know what time to get there. We usually get there around 11. The lunch crowd is not there yet. Most Filipinos eat like 12:30, but we try to get there when they're just still putting all the food items. So it's like, steaming hot. And then the rice is from the rice cooker is hot, so everything's fresh when we eat at the karinderya. Oh, my good friend Mina, Dr. Wilhelmina. I'm glad you made it to the live stream, Mina. Good to see you, my friend. Sunday here, HD. I was there at Great Lakes. Navy stuff. All right. Oh yes, way up north, but awesome. My brother, Air Force Star. Oh, sorry to hear that about your brother. Joe Boyd, good morning, Gino. Would you consider staying where you are living now versus going back to your subdivision you own, the place? I'm assuming. Yes, actually, that's in the. I think that's where we're gonna end up, Joe Boyd, because our house, like in that subdivision, we bought that in 2015. We moved in there 2016. It was on a 15-year loan. I mean, it was for 1.5 million when we moved in there, house and lot, including the land title on that. We have like less than 6 years now to pay on our mortgage on the house. The mortgage is like $200, so it's not like a big amount of money. It's a small house, like a 400 square feet, but we have space there. We at one point, we were thinking of like maybe building out because now we have mom staying with us. We have Lyanna, we have mom, but now we're like, we love it here in Boracay. That's the thing. Boracay has always been like our happy place, both Dazzle and I. So I'm looking at it for sure in 3 years, once I collect my Social Security, that would, almost double my pension that I receive. I receive a military pension now. Yeah, at 62, I'll collect my Social Security, so that will double my pension. So for sure, in 3 years, I know we'll probably rent, not buy. It's expensive in Boracay to buy. I don't think we can afford that, but for sure, we can rent like a place at Boracay, Nucos. We can rent a place over there, and looking at our finances, our savings and all that, we might even do it before I get my Social Security. Just depends. We also have to consider Lyanna, because Lyanna started high school. If we do move here to Boracay, we'll bring Lyanna with us. There's a high school here. There's a public high school here in Boracay, Boracay National High School. So it's not a problem as far as Lyanna going to a public school here in Boracay Island. And I tutor her anyway. It's like between the public school system here in the Philippines and my knowledge as far as like the education I have, I know I can tutor Lyanna well. She's not gonna be behind or anything anymore regarding school. And then the house, will always have the house, less than 6 years, once the house is paid off. Someday, Lyanna's got to go to college anyway. We have another nephew, Needs. His name is Needs. Lyanna and her are like same age, He's actually Lyanna's nephew too, because, Lyanna's Dazzle's sister. But both of them, we're looking at, they're going to be going to college probably in 4 to 6 years, because there's a new rule here now in the Philippines. High school here in the Philippines now is like you attend either 4 or 6 years. When you reach the 10th grade, you can take the college entry exam. And if you pass, you bypass 11th and 12th grade. I think that's a new program that the Department of Education. Before, the Philippines always only had 4 years of high school. It changed like in 2015, 2016, so that it matches like in the US, how you have junior high, 2 years of junior high, and then 4 years of high school. But now they have implemented that program where if you're smart enough, I guess when you're at the 10th grade, you can take the college entry exam, and if you pass it, you bypass 11th and 12th grade. So depending, and I'm sure Lyanna will kick that, you will hit that. I'll make sure she's gonna be like advanced with her math and English and science. So we're looking at, that's only 4 years from now that she can start college in Calibo. So having the house in that subdivision, it's only 3 miles away from Calibo. So that would be something that when it's time for Lyanna to go to college, she'll have a place to stay with our other nephew, Needs. And then mom can stay with them there. But more likely, Dazzle and I will be living here in Boracay because we just love it here. To me, Boracay is like, for me anyway, it's my perfect retirement. This is the retirement I dreamed. That's why this was the first place I landed when I came to the Philippines. My first 18 months was here in Boracay Island. I just love this island. I love the lifestyle here, laid back. Everybody's happy. Even the locals are happy because they make good money here. The locals here, they work in Boracay at the hotels, restaurants, hubble driver, e-trike driver, fisherman, boat captain. There's a lot of work here. So the locals here got good jobs. They earn well here. So it's not like one of those areas that are in the Philippines that looks depressed. Here people are happy. Most of the workers here, like in Diniwid, like they'll work all day and then come sunset, they're by the sari-sari store drinking Red Horse and eating barbecue. It's just a fun vibe there, fun vibe. You'll see it on the videos I make here. People are smiling, people are happy. Even the local kids, on the last video that I made, even the local kids, when the tourists come, they'll get the tourist phone and take pictures of the tourists, and the tourists tip them. There's money to be made for the locals. So it's not like other places in the Philippines where you see depressed area, like poor area, and there's no work for the people here. It's basically, if you're not working as a local here in Boracay, you're just lazy. You just don't want to make any money because there's so much opportunity to make money here. But like you're asking, Joe Boyd, I'm pretty sure Dazzle and I will end up here in Boracay. For sure in 3 years, maybe even sooner. I just love it here. Boracay has always been my happy place on earth because the beaches here are just amazing. It's like even in mainland Aklan, some of the beaches in mainland Aklan, I don't really swim in because I don't consider them clean. Here in Boracay, most of the beaches here are clean, and I enjoy swimming in them. It's like they take good care of the beaches here. If you're there, let's hook up, dear. Thank you. All right. JB, good morning, Ginno. Good morning, JB. Good morning, JB Manalang. Diamond Queens. Hi. Hello, Diamond Queens. Skyway Fishing Pier, Tampa. Yeah, I remember you mentioning it. Daniel. I just haven't watched the video, but I will now. I did get that video. I watched that video of that camper that you sent me, like the 3-wheel camper. That is so cool, man. I want one of those, man. I would love to have one of those. But I can't have them here in Boracay, man. That's the thing. I think another person asked me here in Boracay, can I bring a scooter to Boracay? Very strict here. You have to get a mayor's permit in order for you to bring a scooter to Boracay Island. And they're trying to limit the number of scooters here. Because of course, Boracay, they want more electric. They don't want a ton of motorbikes here making noise, the noise pollution. You can bring a bike here, like an electronic bicycle. You can bring that to Boracay, but a motorbike, a scooter, you have to get a special permit from the mayor of Malay in order for you to take a motorcycle to Boracay. I mean, there's many motorcycles here. They might have gotten it in before they start cutting down. But I know what's happening is like they're not approving more motorbikes to come here. The ones that are here already, once they're not working anymore, there's going to be less and less motorcycles here in Boracay. HD, I'm out. All right, take care, Mom Janet. Thank you for going on the live stream. I haven't left Calendar for about half a decade after. Oh, I didn't know you injured your back, HD. Sorry to hear that. It's the first time I heard that you injured your back, man. All right. God bless, Mom Janet. God bless everyone. Same here, Janet. Take care. Balik Sergeant USA. All right. Thank you. Praying for you. Get well, of course, of course. Sending our prayers. All right, yeah, we're all praying, we're all rooting, I know about health issues, man. It's like I always like pray for people that I know that stay healthy. Said it's super light blue. All right, all right. The PC culture eliminated that nationalism pride in the US. Replace it with the rainbow flag. Yeah, I've seen that each year. That's unfortunate. I'm actually HD because I left the US 14 years ago. I think that was just starting. I know in 2011 a lot of that movement was just starting. I'm kind of glad I didn't get to see it. I just see it online. I see what's going on in the US. I'm glad. I didn't have to go through that, and I wouldn't want that for my kid if I was raising my kid in the US either. That would be HD. I know. Oh my God. It's so sad what happened to our. I know. I get, like me, when I watch the news, when I watch YouTube, I see what's going on in America. Like I said, I'll always be a patriot. I love America. I'm grateful for my life because of what it provided me, allowed me to retire early here in the Philippines at 45. I'm living the best life here because of my service in the United States. And I could have never had the life I have now if not for America. But it's terrible what I see when I see, it upsets me when I see them burning American flag in U.S. soil. I mean, I don't think I could control myself if I was in the U.S. seeing that, but it is what it is. It's the times we live in now. I'm just glad I only watch it online. I'm glad I don't have to see it live on person because I know that would upset me. It started when the atheist dad sued because of God. Yeah. I know HD. It was around late 90s, early 2000. Yeah, that's why when I left the U.S., and for sure it wasn't in this level. Not now, when I left in 2011, but now it's like, I almost don't recognize. It's like I know I wouldn't fit in anymore. I know if I went back to the U.S. now, I know I would struggle with all the stuff that's happened since I left because when I left in 2011, a lot of even the terminology that I hear now, that even didn't exist in 2011. When I lived in Tucson, Arizona, I never heard some of the terminal they called, the different things that you got to learn. That's why, I've never heard of it. It's like all new terminology to me. Hello, sir. You have thank you, Big Mayo. Appreciate that. Glad that Philippines still have the pride and values being taught to. Yes, I see it, man. I see it, HD. Like Lyanna, she goes to Numancia Integrated School, a public school here in Aklan. They pay respect to the flag every Monday. They pledge allegiance, and before they start class in the morning and they end the class during the afternoon, they all pray. It's like I know not everybody prays. I'm not saying everybody prays, but to me it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that our kids are praying, that they believe in something. It's like. Do you know if they have GED or an equivalent exam for homeschool kids? The homeschool kids, yes, they have an equivalent exam that after they take the exam, they can attend college here. It's the same. They still have the equivalent like high school graduation, the DepEd, the Department of Education, but they also have to pass the college entry exam now. And again, the college entry exam, you can take it now at 10th grade. If you pass the college entry exam at 10th grade, you can skip 11 or 12. If you don't pass, then you have to go 11 or 12. That whole thing about adding those 2 years, 11th and 12th grade, just so they consider comparable to education, that has not gone well here, in my opinion. Whoever came up with that, I don't think it really helped. I mean, the kids that they added those 2 years, the senior high is what they call here. Just my opinion now. I don't think it helped, because there's still like a majority of people here that don't see college anyway. So you just burden the parents another 2 years of high school that they got to spend on the kids, and then it's not like they learn more or prepare them more for college. That's why I think they went to that system now where you can skip 11 or 12 grade. It would not surprise me if they eliminate it completely, because to me, whoever suggested that has gotten a lot of heat. Gotten a lot of heat here in the Philippines. Many parents here are not happy that they added 2 more years of high school here in the Philippines, because many of us, our generation HD didn't have to have that. We didn't have 11th and 12th grade. We turned out fine. So whoever decided that they needed it, it's like. Yes, I love the Philippine culture. My wife is Rojas City. All right, balikbayan ka. I didn't know. Rojas City. I love Rojas City, man. We're going there on the 21st. We're going to go to the Canadian Beaver, the 1 year anniversary of Canadian Beaver on Saturday. It's coming up. Actually. We're excited to see all our friends there at the Canadian Beaver. We'll visit next year. Have so many in-laws there to visit. Oh, you're gonna have a great time, man. If your wife's from Rojas City, man, that's a nice place. So Rojas City is a good place to visit. Bye Bye Beach, and they got malls now. They got SM Mall there. Opened about a couple of years ago. They always had Robinson. I mean, it's expanding. Rojas City, they're building. They're developing Rojas City. Condominiums are being built in that area. Hopefully, if I'm able to make the move there, we'll have the chance to meet. All right, HD. Of course, man. If you come to the Philippines, HD, I'll fly where you're from. I want to meet you in person. If all things work out, man. If you make it here to the Philippines, all of us will probably meet. If balikbayan guy is going to Rojas City, I'll drive to Rojas. That's 2 hour drive from our house. That's easy. That's easy for me. We're gonna have like a reunion of sorts here in Panay Island. Hello, good morning, Bermuda Garden. Good morning. I'm gonna try. Oh, good thing I reached the bottom, because I'm nearing my 2 hour mark. I usually end the live stream. I'm glad I reached the bottom of the comment. America is great at providing opportunities. However, I've also experienced some discrimination because of affirmative action, DEI, since more Asians go to college. Yeah. I mean, I think that's our generation, HD. I think we realize that America, even now, it's still a great place to go. Opportunity. I mean, if I never made it to the U.S., there's no way I could retire early. There's no way I'm retired, at 45, and now I'm gonna be 59. I won't get Social Security. It's like there's none of that in the Philippines. I mean, Social Security here in the Philippines is like really a minimal amount. Nothing you can live off. That's why a lot of the elderly here in the Philippines, when they reach Social Security age in the Philippines here, most of them their kids take care of them, or family takes care of them, because not enough money, not enough, the Social Security system in the Philippines is not like the US, where you can actually retire on Social Security. Here, it's like minimal amount of money they receive from the government. Will you vlog a bit of the Beaver? How long you staying? We're only staying, JB, we're only staying that one night, because after that party, like the anniversary, we're coming back to Boracay. The only reason we're going is we're friends with Mike and Kat and Lara, Dazzle likes Lara. So we just wanted to support them. You want to be there. I'll film Bye Bye Beach, and I'll film like the Canadian Beaver. I'll make a quick video of like who made it there, because there's gonna be a lot of vloggers there from Iloilo. I know there's gonna be vloggers from Iloilo, and then outside of Panay Island, I know there's vloggers that's gonna be flying in. But I'm not gonna, I'm not a heavy drinker. I might have one beer, but I'll order food and just celebrate with friends. It'd be nice to see James and Karen. I know they're gonna be there. James and Karen Adventures. So good to see people. Good to see friends. Like, hey, how you ever doing? But just we'll stay there just that one night and then come back here to Boracay. But it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm always looking forward to see friends. And we've gone to the Canadian Beaver. This will be like our uh, fourth or fifth time now going to Canada. We made videos of Rojas City, so. But I'll do one video and just I'll show, probably during the celebration. I'll just show the celebration, and I'll show like the vloggers that made it to the Canadian Beaver. That would be so awesome, Ginno. Looking forward to meeting you. All right, balikbayan ka. Me too, man. That's gonna be awesome when you come here to Rojas City. We'll come see you at Rojas City. Beaver reunion next year for all Dazzle people. All right, Edgar. All right, man. Hey, when you come here, if you fly to Calibo, if you're in the area, I'm taking people to the Canadian Beaver. Hey, Frank, who else? Jamal. When Jamal was here, I took him to Canadian Beaver. So the Canadian Beaver is less than a 2-hour drive from our house, so it's not hard. I have a car. So if you come to Panay Island, if you to go to Calibo, we can do it. I can even do it from Boracay, and I've done it from Boracay. I've taken Jamal. He was here in Boracay, and we drove to the Canadian Beaver from Katiklan. Beringan channel. My brother retired on 40 here in the U.S. I'm originally from the Philippines, but living in Houston, Texas. All right, all right. Hello. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. JB, thanks everyone. I'm gonna cut the live stream here too. JB, yeah, all my fave bloggers seem to be going, so can't wait to watch some vlogs of the event. See everybody. All right, JB. I'll make sure I'll vlog most of the vlog. I'll recognize them. I'll watch other vloggers, so I know who they are. Are you able to fit that many in your car, especially Americans? Like, hey, no, it's like I remember I could, I fit like. We went to my tiny Wigo, right? My tiny Wigo. It was. Joel, Eileen, Lyanna, Dazzle, me. I fit 5 people in the car with suitcases with our luggage to Iloilo. We drove them to Iloilo, so I can fit people now. I can fit. And Ray even. I took Ray. I took Catherine to when we went to Iloilo. Same thing, like with Jamal. So hey, I'll fit. You know how it is in the Philippines, man. You can fit people in your car as long as like it'll get us there. Play Fortnite. All right, HD. I'll be like a clown car when we go out of the. Yeah, that though. When you open the door and the people keep coming out of the car, it's like, how many people did you fit in there? That'd be funny. Thank you, Ginno. Landing at Calibo from Manila would be cool. We will let you. Oh, for sure, balikbayan guy. If you're landing in Calibo, I'm picking you up at the airport. You don't need a tricycle ride from the airport. I'll come get you. If you land in Calibo. And if you need to go to Rojas City, I'll drive you there. I'll drive you from Calibo. That's not a problem. I'll be happy to do that. All right, take care, everyone. I'm over my 2-hour mark. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Happy Father's Day again to everyone, the fathers out there. And hope everyone has a good day. Take care and God bless.